Well, happy Tuesday. This is the Cultivate podcast with Thomas Cody, and I am excited that you decided to tune in on today. Cultivate is going to be for the emerging and the evolving leader. It's all things empowerment, all things inspiration, all things encouragement for evolving and emerging leaders. Leadership is very much so important to me because I believe that the success of our world, that it lies in leadership. I believe that the success in business and arts and entertainment, the church, media, education, and the government, that it lies in great leadership. And so I'm excited that you decided to join me on this podcast. Now listen, this podcast is for you every single Tuesday at 12 noon. If you are a leader, whether you are leading in ministry, whether you are leading in the marketplace, whether you are managing something, you are an entrepreneur, CEO, or you just say, hey, I just want to learn how to be a better leader of my household. I just want to be a better leader of my money. I just want to be a better leader with the young people in my community. This podcast is for you. I really do believe that God has put some measure of leadership in every person. I don't believe that every person has to be a CEO, because if everyone is a CEO, then who's going to be the COO or the CFO, or who's going to be the ones in the call center? So I really believe that it is necessary for us to be involved on this podcast every single Tuesday at 12 noon. Before we go into what we need to go into and have the conversation, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to like, I want you to share, and I want you to subscribe to this channel right now. Go ahead and do it. I want you to hit that like button. I want you to share this. I need you to share this with at least, can you commit to that today? I need you to share this with at least 5 individuals that you deem to be great leaders or great potential leaders, because I believe there's going to be something that is going to be shared on our weekly podcast that's going to expand the mind and the capacity of those leaders. And I'm excited that you all are involved. Well, this is the first one. This is our kickoff, and I'm grateful to be coming to you live and in living color. So let's get into, first of all, me. I'm Thomas Cody. I am the lead pastor of the newly planted Momentum City Church here in Atlanta, Georgia. Before we planted Momentum City Church 3 years ago today, we started the Momentum Gathering, and Momentum Gathering went from about 60 individuals to having our events that we hosted once a month, standing room only. And it's been a lot that I have learned just leading Momentum Gathering and now leading a church. But I've always been in leadership in terms of ministry. I started out in ministry as a musician, and at that time in church, you know, you were considered the minister of music when you were the organist. And so I was leading adults even at a young age, and then God allowed me to be a youth leader in church, and then I became an ordained minister March the 7th, 2010. Ordained an elder in November of 2019, and now pastoring a church. I wrote my first book, Soundcheck, in 2019. It was a book that was penned for those that serve in music ministry. I was able to travel across the world, traveling, doing what I love to do. I'm actually operating in my purpose and in my call. I've been to 48 out of the 50 states and 3 countries. And so I've seen leadership on a ministry perspective, but even in the marketplace, I never really worked too many secular jobs. So when I went into the secular world to work, I was working in property management. So in property management, I started out as a leasing consultant or leasing agent, if you will. And then I quickly matriculated. You see that acceleration? I quickly matriculated and I became the resident manager because they saw how well I handled people. And I'll be speaking about that in terms of marketplace, because my first community that I was managing was a community of about 1,200 units. And when I say 1,200 units, just think about that, that it's usually on average 2 to 3 individuals in one unit. So you do the math, 1,200, multiply that by 3, that we're talking at least 3,600 individuals that I was able to manage in my first year of property management, move from resident manager to assistant manager. And then now I'm doing what I love to do full time, and that is teaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. I love to see individuals operate in their purpose and in their full potential in life. Hence why everything about me is about forward movement only. Speaking of forward movement only, September of 2018, we launched an apparel line entitled Forward Movement Only. It was just a billboard just to remind individuals that you cannot get stuck, you can't get stagnant, and you cannot get situated in silly situations. That there is an unseen force called fear that wants you to remain stagnant and stuck in silly situations. So Forward Movement Only was an iconic brand that just propelled people into their purpose. And then now we're doing Cultivate podcast. I really believe that Cultivate is going to be more than a podcast, but I'm grateful that you can come in and share with me, and I can share with you just some of the wisdom that, you know what I'm saying, that God has given me over the years in expertise. I have a strong desire to see people walk in their full destiny, in their full purpose and potential in the earth. And so I'm all about being the model, or being, at top level when it comes to your faith, your family, your finances, your fitness, and ultimately your future. I want you to do me a favor, because Cultivate is going to be more than a podcast. You're going to be seeing times where we will do webinars, where we will come together and have intensives, where we will do coaching sessions, where we will have Cultivate Summit, where leaders from all around the world, they will come and we will be poured into by individuals that we all know that can help to shape and to stretch and launch us into our greatest days. So I want you to do me a favor. I want you to text the word cultivate. You should see it at the bottom of your screen. Cultivate. That is CULTIVATE. I want you to text that to 678-257-2301. Text the word cultivate to 678-257-2301. You're getting ready to receive a link, and I want you to go ahead and join the private group that is going to give you access to there on Facebook, because we'll be able to correspond with each other. Listen, I'm ready to get into the conversation. I'm ready to talk to some leaders. So do me a favor. I want you to share this with at least 5 individuals that you deem to be great leaders presently, or that you deem that are going to be great leaders in the future, and you see that they have great potential. Well, as you know, that we are at the end of 2022, that we are at the end of a year that I would say for me has really been a year that I would name it groundbreaking. I was minding my business, doing my thing. I had a lot of plans for the year, and planting a church was not really on my radar for this year. As a matter of fact, before 2022 came in, I was in conversation with taking a youth pastor role at a mega church here in Atlanta. And I was told to pray about taking the role as the youth and young adult pastor at this prestigious mega church here in Atlanta. And, God just wouldn't let me do it. God just would not allow me to just go forth with it, because I knew that there was was going to be something great that I would do eventually, but I did not want to get stuck in the life of doing that I miss what God has purposed me to do. And so that should be a lesson all in itself, that a part of your journey in leadership, whether you're in ministry or whether you're in business or whether you just lead a house, that you're going to come up to some places where you're going to be tempted to say, do I do what would be right in the eyes of people, or people, they would deem me to be very successful, to go from, the organ to youth and young adults pastor at this great mega church. And it would have looked great on paper as far as my resume is concerned. But yet at the same time, the Bible speaks about how God says in Jeremiah 29:11, he says, "For I know what I'm doing. I have your life already planned out, and I have thoughts of peace and plans to give you a hope and a future and an expected end." So you have to know within yourself the very thing that God has put on the inside of you. I'm telling you right now, that yes, this is a leadership podcast, but I'm a pastor. So you're going to get scripture. You're going to get inspiration that is going to be laced with the word of God, because I believe that the word of God is the only infallible truth. Let's not even go into that tonight, but I just want you to know that you have to know what is on the inside of you, so you won't be tempted to take offers along the way that may get you off of your course. Now, is it a good offer? Yes. But is it a God offer? Maybe not. And so you have to know within your knower, you have to know in your spirit what's a good route for me to take and what's a God route for me to take. And sometimes the God route looks less than the good route. The good route can sometimes get me to success quick. The good route can get me $10,000 in 2 hours. But sometimes the God route, it looks like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of planting. It's a lot of tilling. It's a lot of cultivating. And that's why we are here right now. So I want to speak to those leaders. This is the end of a amazing year. I would call it groundbreaking. But as we begin to think about 2023, as we begin to think about this new year that's getting ready to embark upon us, I want to ask you one quick question. Are you prepared? Just think about that for a moment. Are you prepared? I know that we're here now, right at the top of December. The year is getting ready to end. Are you prepared for what's getting ready to take place in 2023? Or are you just going through every single day and you're saying, wow, I made it through Monday. Wow, I made it through Tuesday. I made it through Wednesday. It was up until maybe 2 years ago that I really lived my life forward. I know literally as we are on this podcast, I was just booked for an event for August, and it's December 2022, and I was just booked for something August 2023 and confirmed it. And so I kind of live like that. So my question is, are you prepared for 2023? The Bible says that no man builds up a house except he has first counted up the cost. You as a leader, you're leading an organization, you're leading a team, you're leading a department, you're leading a family. You as a leader, you cannot be moving with everyone else. Put that down. You can't move with everyone else. As a leader, you have to be before everyone else. You cannot move with, because people need to understand your vision, and people, they need to be able to trust that you have foresight for the future. And so even as a leader, as we're approaching 2023, you should kind of already be trying to get your feet wet as far as what 2024 is going to look like for your organization, for your church, for your ministry, for whatever it is that you do, for your business. What goals are you setting up to put in place? What systems are you going to put in place? How are you, check this out, how are you going to invest in you as a leader? I'm grateful that you're on this podcast, because that's one thing that you can say, that I'm investing in the leader in me, because I'm a part of a community that is empowering, inspiring, and encouraging emerging and evolving leaders. But how are you preparing yourself for 2023? How are you preparing your organization for what's getting ready to take place? And so I want you to know this, that God does not do what you prayed for only, but he does what you have prepared for. Wow, that's good. That God does not do, or opportunities don't just come because you prayed for it, but opportunities come when you have prepared for it. So what are you preparing today for the opportunity to present itself tomorrow? Are you really ready to sign $1 million contract? Do you know the first thing that you're going to do when they give you the keys to the building? Come on. Do you know what you're going to offer your clients when you launch the product? You have to be prepared. But not only do you prepare for the launch, but you also have to prepare for the dip. And then you prepare for the sustaining of your company, your product, your team, your ministry, whatever it is. Because I believe that we put 100% of our effort in launching something. Oh, we got the graphic designers, the website developers. We got people to make our t-shirts, and we're doing a whole lot in the launch of something, not realizing that after you launch a thing, that after the launch is only a small window. I heard Bishop T.D. Jakes say that you only have one chance to launch a church. And so I want to say that concerning even your business, your enterprise, your product, you have one chance to launch it. Now, can you spruce things up? Can you make things better about your business? Yes, but you only have one time to launch it. And I think with that thought, we put a lot of effort in launching something, but we don't think about the dip. And that's why you're here, because I believe that many leaders get frustrated because we have this great big vision, not realizing that that vision is going to take a dip. That dip, this is what God gave it to me as. The dip is development in process. Did you hear what I just said? That the dip is development in process. Many people give up their business, give up ministry, give up marriage, give up their idea because of the dip. God gave you an idea that you was going to start making bracelets. God gave you an idea that you were going to have a clothing line. God gave you an idea that you was going to have a eyelash line, that you were going to have a ministry, that you was going to write a book, and you put everything in the launch. Because the launch is exciting. The launch is really, do you know what the launch is connected to? The launch is connected to our emotions, or us wanting to be validated and approved. So we would do anything for the applause and the approval of man. So that's why we put a lot in the launch, because all we hear is congratulations. Wow, that's great. Oh, I didn't know that you did that. Wow, I'm going to check you out. I'm going to go to your website. And so the launch is usually connected with our approval. Now you're going to experience or encounter, if you will, a dip right after the launch. So 100 people came to your groundbreaking. 100 people bought your product the first day. But now you're in your third month. And you're trying to figure out where are the 100 people, where the customer base that I had in my email. I got a warm market. I got a cold market in my pipeline. I got different people that I'm connected to, but they're not around during the dip. So what do? See, the launch is connected to the need sometimes for approval, affirmation, or applause. And so we put a lot of energy into the launch of a thing because it's connected to approval, affirmation, and applause. Now, the dip is only for people who has strength of character. The dip is only for people. I'm still talking about preparing for 2023, but I want you to prepare right. The dip is only for individuals who has strength of character, that they're able to take a licking like a Timex watch and keep on ticking. They can look in the audience and see 5 people, and they can position their posture as if it's 5,000. Because during the dip, it's almost as if God is testing you to see if you believe in what he's giving you. Wow. The launch is causing other people to believe in what you launched. But then the dip is really that season where God tests you to see if you believe. They believed it because they bought your product. Yeah. They believed it because they came to your first service. They believed it because they bought your book. They believed it because they bought your single off iTunes and Google Play. They believe, but as time goes by, God is going to test to see if you believe. And a lot of times people pack up their bags and shut down shop because they have not been able to handle the dip, not realizing that right behind the door of the dip is supernatural success. Did you hear what I said? That right behind the door of the dip is supernatural success. How are you preparing for 2023? I believe that number one, that preparation, that it obligates things to come into your circle. I believe that preparation, that it obligates good things, good opportunities, good people to come into your circle. Why? Because when God knows that you have prepared for something, he is going to set up people in your area. As my spiritual father would say, that he's going to raise up somebody somewhere to use their power, their ability, their influence, and their resources to be able to bless you and carry you into your next level. How are you preparing? No man builds up a house except he has first counted up a cost. I believe that your success is in your preparation. I believe that your longevity is in your preparation. Listen to this. God prepared the earth before man was presented. Man prepared the garden before his wife was presented. Noah prepared the ark before a storm was presented. Don't wait for the success to be present in your life. Don't let the thing that you're believing for to be present before you start working. Absolutely not. Don't wait for that to be present in order for you to start working. You start preparing for it now, because it obligates good things to take place in your life. What are you preparing for? I believe this, and I'm done today, because it's all I just wanted to come in and just get your mind thinking about what are you preparing for 2023. If you have not started planning your calendar, what's happening in January, what's happening in February, what's happening in August, how are you going to close out 2023 and move into your 2024? What are you doing to build for success? What is your 3 to 5 year plan? What are you thinking about? Hold on. Before we even get there, have you prepared your business? Have you prepared your ministry, your book, your song, your music, whatever it is? Have you prepared it to succeed? Do you have the LLC? Do you have the incorporation? Do you have the wherewithal to be able to receive your royalties from publishing? Do you have everything set in place? So before we even start talking about preparing for the days to come, we need to make sure that everything is already prepared. Can we write you a check? No, man, just give me cash. Just give me cash or cash at me or send it Apple Pay or whatever the case may be. Send it that way because I don't have no checking account for my business or for my ministry yet. But I want you to know this, that preparation, that it produces overflow in your life. Preparation produces opportunities. I just said that preparation produces options in your life. My God. And then preparation produces an oasis where you can be, where you can rest in the fact knowing that you as a leader, your team, your company, your business, your ministry, your church, your family is taken care of because we are prepared. What are you preparing for? Listen, I'm Thomas Cody, and I'm grateful that you guys have jumped on the live on this afternoon. I pray that it has been a blessing. Listen, do me a favor. I want you to like, I want you to share, I want you to subscribe, but then I want you to let me know if this was a blessing. This is going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to go up from here. There's going to be a lot of talk concerning leadership, those that are in ministry, those that desire to get to the next level in your marketing and branding. I'm going to be dealing with all of that, all things leadership, all things that that's connected to our success. This is going to be the place that you will be able to glean and to gain great knowledge and wisdom from. Well, I pray that you were blessed by this. I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. If you felt that that this was a blessing to you, your ministry, your corporation, your business, even your family, I want you to join me in sharing to make sure that we can be able to keep this podcast going. Right now, we're only on Facebook and YouTube, but we're going to be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts in just a few short weeks. And I want you to help us to continue to take this podcast to the next level. And not just the podcast, but even Cultivate Summit that's coming up in the near future, our coaching and mentorship. So I want you, those of you that can share of love gift, and I'm not going to put any amount on it, but you just say, man, this was good. Man, I believe in this. I'm grateful that you jumped in and you blessed me so that I may be able to be a blessing to my organization and the team that I lead. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to partner with me in a love gift. You can go to Cash App. That's Thomas L. Cody Jr. That's my whole name, y'all. Thomas L. Cody Jr. You can go to Zelle. That's 770-756-3250. And the same number for Apple Pay, 770-756-3250, that you can be a blessing. Listen, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to send something, but I want you to send this to 5 individuals that you deem to be great leaders, or they have potential to be great leaders. What are you preparing for 2023? Listen, whatever you do for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week, for the rest of this year, let's cultivate.